बिल्लाहि सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद।
औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। बारिल खलाइक़ अजमईन। वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला अशरफिल अंबिया वल मुरसलीन व खातमिन नबिय्यीन व हबीब इलाहिल आलमीन। अल अब्दिल मुअय्यद व रसूलिल मुसद्दद अल मुस्तफ़ल अमजद अबिल क़ासिम मुहम्मद।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद।
व अहले बैतिहि तय्यबीन अत्ताहिरीन अल मज़लूमीन अल मासूमीन अल गुर्रिल मयामीन अल्लज़ीना अज़हबल्लाहु अन्हुमुर रिज्स व तहहरहुम तत्हीरा।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद।
व लअनतुल्लाहिल अबदिय्यतिद दाइमा अला अअदाइहिम अअदाअल्लाह मिनल आने इला क़ियाम यौमिद्दीन। अम्मा बअदु फ़क़द क़ाल अल्लाहु सुब्हानहु व तआला फ़ी किताबिहिल हकीम व हुवा अस्दक़ुल क़ाइलीन। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। व इज़ा क़ील लहुम ला तुफ़सिदू फ़िल अर्ज़ क़ालू इन्नमा नहनु मुस्लिहून अला इन्नहुम हुमुल मुफ़सिदून वलाकिन ला यशअरून। सदक़ल्लाहुल अलियुल अज़ीम। सलावत।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद।
सल्लल्लाहु अलैका या मौलाई या सय्यदी या रसूल अल्लाह। सल्लल्लाहु अलैका व अला अहले बैतिका अत्ताहिरीन अल मज़लूमीन या रहमतल्लाहिल वासिआ व या बाब नजातिल उम्मा। सल्लल्लाहु अलैका या अबा अब्दिल्लाह। अस्सलामु अलैका या अय्युहल इमामुल गरीब। السلام على أيها الشيب الخزين والقتيل الوطين والخد الدري. السلام على المبزل بدم الجراد. السلام على الأبدان الزليبة. والسلام على العترة الباقية صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله. وقد قال صحابي من أصحاب الحسين أميري حسين ونعم الأمير. أميري حسين ونعم الأمير. سرور فواد البشير النذير. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي وعلى أولاد وعلى أصحاب. All together. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين الذين بذلوا مهجهم دون الحسين. صلوات الله محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Respected brothers and sisters, lovers and followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam and his holy household, lovers of Ahlul Bayt. In our discussion about group of people who claims to be reformers, but in reality they are troublemakers, and they are the one who have and are and going to continue to create corruption and fasad on earth. When Almighty Allah says, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, don't make corruption in the earth, they say, but we are reformers. We are purifiers. We want to do good job. We want to reform. Ala annahum humul mufsidun. Indeed, they are people of corruption. They don't understand, but they are people who promote corruption and fasad. Once again, and I think it's my responsibility to repeat every night this important point, to keep the direction of this discussion and your mind set and trained in a particular direction. That we are not discussing one particular historical phenomenon. We are not speaking about past. We are speaking about a particular approach and pattern of thinking which appeared in the history, which is predicted by Quran and Prophet ﷺ himself. And it has showed its ugly face over and over in history. And even today, we are facing again a very serious challenge from the same group of so-called reformers. In reality, they are mufsideen and people who promote corruption. This is important. And as first step, from last 3-4 nights the discussion is going on, we spoke about Kharijites, and you heard how they acted and how they behaved in the time of our Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. I also draw your attention to how Imam Ali treated them, because that is important for us to learn. I also narrated for you that how Ali was tolerant toward their arrogance and ignorance and prejudice. I counted night before 5 very important issues in them, and because I want to take the discussion, I need to just quickly, for those maybe who are first time here, I said 5 important fibers you find in their whole movement phenomenon. Number 1, they claim themselves to be reformers, purifiers. They're looking for purity. As I said, they are holier than thou. Number 1. Number 2, they are literalist. They always stuck in words and they can't go further than words. Number 3, that they are always in resistance with intellect and reason. They are enemies of reason. Number 4, they believe in monopoly of their thought, absolute, our way or no other way. They don't have even concept of supposing that something else is possible. And therefore, their benchmark is takfir, to make people kafir. If you don't agree with us, then you are kafir. And number 5, violence. They believe in violence. And number 6 I added last night, if you remember. Empty slogans. And number 7 also I added last night. They have no manners. They are people without adab. They are rough and tough people. They interact and behave extremely in arrogant manner. These are benchmarks of this group. I explained to you, Imam tolerated them, but finally Imam very decisively, when they entered in war with him, Imam also crushed them. I think this is the correct word to use. Crushed them in the battle of Muharram. Very few of them left behind. And those who were left behind did not leave their job. They are very, resistant type of virus. You kill them, still they don't come right. And therefore these few who were left, 7, 8, 9, 10 or whatever number of them, they were spread in different parts of Islamic empire. Wherever they went, they continued. Some of them they continued until finally they killed and martyred Amir al-Mu'minin, Imam Ali alayhi salam, that Abdul Rahman ibn Muljim al-Muradi was a Kharijite. And this is benchmark that when they came to kill Ali, they didn't come to kill Ali because they said this is, our conspiracy to kill. No, they came to kill fi sabilillah. Qurbatan ilallah. Why are you killing Ali? Because for the sake of pleasure of Allah. This is their benchmark, brothers. Please remember, after 14 centuries, still the same. Especially when it comes to killing, they always kill people fi sabilillah. Iqbal said very nice poetry about not them but about this trend. He says that job of mujahid is fi sabilillah jihad, and job of mullah is fi sabilillah fasad. His job is to create corruption and fasad, but with the intention of pleasure of Allah. That's what they were. Let us move a little bit. So they, here and there, naturally then, because they were in conflict with Bani Umayyah also, with Muawiyah also, so they were in big trouble. They were crushed by Muawiyah, in fact. They, of course, faced various oppositions and therefore did not survive in a very big manner. Khawarij as a group, as a particular sect, dismantled or changed their format. Hundreds of different sects came out of the one Khawarij, everyone in his own way, in his own understanding and approach. If you want to ask me today they are surviving or not, I don't think. There is a group called Abazis. Darussalam also present. They are remnants of Khawarij. But they don't have that qualities of Khawarij. They are much, much more, diluted form of Khawarij. They are not involved in any conflict. They are not violent, nothing. But as I said, all over the show they scattered, they go. But once again, our problem is not that historical group by the name of Kharijite. The problem, phenomena which we are discussing and addressing are these benchmarks, these qualities in understanding deen and acting upon deen are problematic. Therefore, Kharijites disappeared, but this pattern did not disappear. This strategy did not disappear. This approach did not disappear. It appeared over and over. Okay. Main phenomena, again, let me take you a little bit further. I have really taken too much time in giving background stories. I need to come to the point very soon, inshallah. We don't have much of time. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
In second century after Hijrah, we again find another phenomena, movement, which has these benchmarks, these qualities of Kharijite appearing. They got nothing to do with this group, please, as I said, I'm repeatedly saying. But those qualities are there. Some of them at least, till great extent. And that has happened in the, as I say, early second century, when discussions between Ash'arites and Mu'tazilites were on its climax. Now I don't want to go in those details, theological discussions, but just to bring to your mind closer to the point. Mu'tazilites were people who used to insist and emphasize on the role of intellect. They used to see that you must use aql in understanding of Quran, in understanding of Sunnah. Even sometimes they used to prefer aql and intellect and reasoning over Sunnah. They had great emphasis over aql. In contrast to them were Ash'arites, little bit different than them, again without going in details, but they were also not anti-rational completely. In early days, Ash'arites were very much powerful, supported by regimes. Little bit later, especially in the time of, I think if I'm not mistaken, Harun al-Rashid Abbasid, he was a bit inclined toward Mu'tazilites, and as a result, Mu'tazilites came in power. And they, is amazing, this is again another very interesting part, please listen carefully. That these people of so-called intellect and rationality and so on, once they got power, they become dictators. They started to check the people's opinion. How you think? They started to take a situation where they used to call people and ask the question. And if they don't agree with them, they used to prison them. Very difficult times. Mu'tazilites in power. Overemphasis on intellect and reasoning has great effect. As a result, everybody was affected. Everybody wanted to use aql a lot, intellect a lot. Depend on rationality. And therefore, even the great scholars and ulama like Imam Abu Hanifa, in his fatwas, please listen carefully, and in his verdicts also, he gave great deal of importance to, qiyas, analogy, and rational arguments and so on. Hanafi, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam of Hanafi fiqh. And he was very much supported by government, he was very much supported by rulers and so on. I am not speaking about what was the position of Ahlul Bayt. Position of Ahlul Bayt in nutshell was a very balanced position. Ahlul Bayt strongly believed in the role of aql and intellect, but at the same time also believed that text means Quranic text and text of hadith means Prophet's words. They are guiding toward aql. Aql, what does it mean? The definition of aql in the school of Ahlul Bayt was different than aql in these groups and circles. They thought any guess, just a suspicion, some idea comes in your mind, they used to act upon that and used to leave hadith and Quran one side. Okay, I'm really trying to get to the point. In response to this type of phenomena and situation in the society, a counter movement started. Counter movement started saying, no, you people are too much depending on your reasoning and intellect, and you are rejecting Quranic words and text of the Sunnah. So what? Now we want to go back to Quran and Sunnah. See, are you with me where I am taking you? Same slogan. Let us go back to Quran and Sunnah. This movement was called Ahlul Hadith, movement of the people of Hadith. Who was leader of this movement? Fourth Imam of Ahl Sunnah, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal was born in Baghdad 124 after Hijrah. Right? Passed away in 241 after Hijrah, 77 years of age. Born in Baghdad, died in Baghdad, buried in Baghdad. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, very, very interesting personality. And it's a nice opportunity to introduce this great man. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal was very much in opinion of hadith. And he used to resist rationality, reasoning, and arguments based upon that. Naturally, he was opposed. There was a theological debate, and again that debate is not suitable here to discuss, that Quran is eternal or not eternal. He used to say that Quran is eternal, and Mu'tazilites used to say Quran is not eternal, it's created by Allah. So it came afterward. It was not there before, it came afterward. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal used to say that Quran is eternal like Allah. It was always there. Based upon this opinion, he was imprisoned for 28 months. Therefore, our Sunni brothers call this period mahna, or difficult period for ulama, fuqaha, al-hadith. Anyway, because he had a great emphasis on hadith, by the way, he was also a student of, very close student of Imam Shafi'i. Very, very close. He had a greatest respect for Imam Shafi'i. But Imam Shafi'i was not so much depending on hadith. Imam Shafi'i, again, relatively a balanced person in coming to contrast with hadith and in rationality. He is the one who first time established Usulul Fiqh al-Risala, where rationally argument was established about fiqh, about practical laws of Islam. But Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who was his student, but at the same time, he had his own opinion. And especially when Imam Shafi'i left Baghdad for Egypt, then Ahmad ibn Hanbal turned a completely other way. And he said, no, we must act upon Quran and Sunnah as it is. Okay? So as a result, you can understand the same fibers or same attributes of Khawarij were repeated again. Means what? Literalism, first of all purifying, because he also believed that this use of intellect and too much reasoning has polluted Deen and Sharia. We need to clean it, Number two, literalist. No, we must act upon words. We mustn't try to interpret it or justify or expand or this or that. No. Take the word. Act upon word itself. And number three, that very much against rationality, and you will see even sometimes very absolute. There are quotations from Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who used to say that who is not Hanbali, falaysa bi Muslim. Who is not Hanbali, he is not Muslim. Now, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, in this sense you can say that again a repetition of the same approach. And therefore, Wahhabis and Salafis of our times very, very happily and proudly try their best to stick with a very strong stick gum with Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. But I will tell you tonight, it is not very true. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Salafis and Wahhabis of our time, who are followers of another Imam, Imam Ibn Taymiyyah, that is now 7th, 8th century. Oh, 2nd century we are talking. Because this phenomena only started in the 7th, 8th century, much, much later. But to make themselves look very genuine and original and coming from old times, they tried their best to stick themselves to Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. These people believe that we must not follow any Imam. They openly say that we must not accept this four mazhab concept. We are not part of this four mazhab story. We are beyond four mazhab. But again, to look and seeking for legitimacy, they try to corner with Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Why? Because naturally this closeness is there. Because Imam ibn Hanbal's approach was a literal approach, was an anti-rational approach, was very hard and tough approach, has this claim of purification and so on and so on. So, but now we would like to talk tonight about Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, very interesting. Imam ibn Hanbal is a very interesting personality. They are very proud of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. But amazingly, they do not accept what Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal says. I hope there were some people who could answer my question. Bukhari, Sahih Bukhari, which is the most important book of our Ahl Sunnah brothers, right? Ahl Sunnah brothers, when I'm saying that, all Sunnis believe that Bukhari is the best after Quran. Right? Even it is written on the top there. And for people who are called Ahlul Hadith or Wahhabi or Salafi, whatever you want to name them, for them Bukhari is almost equal to Quran. But amazing, who is Bukhari? Bukhari is a student of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Muslim, Sahih Muslim. Who is Muslim? A student of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Correct? So what I'm trying to say, that Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim came after Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, right or not? Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal is before Bukhari and Muslim. But amazing is this, that when they count 6 Sahih books, they count books of Bukhari, book of Muslim, book of Ibn Majah and others, but they don't count book of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Imam ibn Hanbal wrote a book, very important book. What is the book? Musnad Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Musnad of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. If you are so proud of this Imam and you said he was a reformer and he was the one who introduced true Islam, pure Islam, literal Islam, so why you don't accept his book and you take his student's book as the most authentic books, Sihasitta, the 6 Sahih books, the 6 authentic books, the 6 criterion books, Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
As I said, slogan, remember, last month I said, one of their benchmarks, empty slogans. They are very good in giving empty slogans. So they say, we believe in Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, we are Hanbali, we follow Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. But in practice, no, they don't follow Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Why I am saying that? Because they reject Musnad Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. When you ask why you reject, they say there's a lot of pollution in his book. Okay, a lot of weak hadiths in his book. Bukhari is empty from weak hadiths. Muslim is empty from weak hadiths. Allahu Akbar. If this is the case, then why you say Haza Hasanun, Haza Sahihun, Haza Zaifun, Haza Sahatun? Allahu Akbar. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
So what is the problem with Ahmad ibn Hanbal? The problem with Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal is this, that it is convenient to get him on your side, but it is inconvenient to accept his book and his thoughts. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal does not agree with us. He is not a great favorite to us, neither we are his favorite. But honestly talking, part of his life at least is a very fair thinker and very fair muhaddis, narrator of hadith. In Musnad Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he has devoted 200 pages of his book in Faza'il and virtues of none but Ali ibn Abi Talib.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
And do you know how he starts this chapter on Ali? He says, what is recorded and reported in virtue and about fazilat and status of Ali ibn Abi Talib is not recorded and reported for anyone of billions. That is his opening statement. Someone came to, if you want, I can give you the names of the books. Tabaqatul Hanabila, very authentic Hanbali book. As I said, Hanbali's got nothing to do with us. If among 4 mazhabs you look, Hanbalis are the most far ones. But look at what he says. He says someone came to Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal and said that these Rafizis mean Shias, these misguided people, lost people, they say that Ali said, Ana qasimun nar wal jannah. Ana qasimun nar wal jannah. Ali said that I am the divider of paradise and hell. Means people will be divided because of me between Jahannam and Jannah. So, what are they speak like that? Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal responded by saying, but they don't say wrong. It's true. He said, how? How it's possible to be true? He said, didn't we have reported this hadith from the Prophet? That Prophet addressed Ali and said, Ya Ali, la yuhibbuka illa mu'min, wa la yubghizuka illa munafiq. Oh Ali, no one will love you but mu'min, and no one will hate you except munafiq.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
So the question person who was asking said, yes, this narration is there. So he said, let me ask you, where is the place of Mu'min? He said, Jannah. He said, where is the place of Munafiq? He said, Jahannam. He said, bas, that's all. So who is then divider of Jannah and Jahannam? Inshallah, may Allah grant you ziyarat of Mawla Amir al-Mu'minin in Najaf, inshallah. Those who are lucky and they could manage to go, alhamdulillah. On the door of, on that gate is one beautiful poetry written. Aliyun hubbuhu junna, Allah Allah. Aliyun hubbuhu junna, qasimun nar wal jannah. Aliyun hubbuhu junna, qasimun nar wal jannah. Imamul insi wal jinnah. In this poetry, word Jannah is repeated in three forms. Jannah, Junnah, Jinnah. Aliyun hubbuhu Junnah. Ali's love is Junnah. Junnah means in Arabic shield. Qasimun nar wal Jannah. Ali is divider of Jannah, means paradise and Jahannam. Imamul insi wal jinnah. And Ali is Imam of Insan and Jinn. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahu Akbar. This is Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. You want to listen more? Some people came to Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal and asked about the levels of fazilat. Who is the best? What are the levels of virtues among the Sahaba? So he answered, first Abu Bakr, then Umar, then Usman. Finished. So the person who came there, he said, so what about Ali? Isn't Ali fourth one? Now I'm reading his answer. Qal. Okay, by the way, narrator of this hadith is his own son, Ahmad. He is saying, Muhammad ibn Ahmad, Muhammad son of Ahmad. He said, I asked from my father about this order of virtue. He said, exactly the like Khilafat. Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman. He stopped. Fas'altu, I asked my father, what about Ali ibn Abi Talib? What he said? Ya bunayya, Ali ibn Abi Talib min Ahlil Bayt, la yuqasu bihim ahad. Oh my son, you are asking a different question. Ali is part of Ahlul Bayt, and Ahlul Bayt cannot be compared with no one. There is a book called Al-Awasim wal-Qawasim. Author of this book is one of those hard rock enemy of Shia. I don't think easy you will find people like them. Now, listen carefully. What he narrates. He says that Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal about love of Ahlul Bayt was going over the board. Shiddatan limawalatihi li Ahl Bayt al-Nabi. He was over the board on issue of the love of Ahlul Bayt. And then he narrates that Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal narrates a hadith. How he narrates, let me read it, then you will enjoy. Listen carefully. He says that this hadith he narrates from who? From Ali ibn Musa Rida, from the 8th Imam of Ahlul Bayt, Ali ibn Musa Rida. He says, ibn Musa Raza, the 8th Imam of Ahlul Bayt, narrates from his father Musa ibn Ja'far Al-Abdus Saleh. Who is Musa ibn Ja'far? The pious servant of Allah. An Abihi Ja'far ibn Muhammad al-Sadiq, from his father Ja'far ibn Muhammad al-Sadiq. And he narrates from Baqir ilm al-Anbiya. And he narrates an Abihi Ali ibn al-Husayn Zayn al-Abidin. This is Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. An Abihi and Zayn al-Abidin narrates from who? From Husayn ibn Ali, Sayyid al-Shabab Ahl al-Jannah, the leader of the youth of Jannah. An Abihi, and he narrates from his father Ali ibn Abi Talib, Sayyid al-Arab, leader of Arab. And he narrates from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Sayyidul Awwaleen wal Akhirin, leader of previous people and people of future. What is the hadith? Annahu qal al-imanu qawlun bil-lisan wa i'tiqadun bil-qalb wa amalun bil-jawarih. What is the definition of Iman, faith? This is the hadith, chain of hadith. Did you see? Imam Raza from his father until Prophet. What Prophet says? Definition of Iman. Iman, what is Iman? Al-imanu qawlun bil-lisan. Iman is word by tongue. I'tiqadun bil-qalb, believe in the heart. Wa amalun bil-jawarih, and action by parts of body and organs of body. This is the hadith. Okay? Fine. And then one he says, listen carefully. فَذَكَرَ هَذَا السَّنَدْ لَأَحْمَدِ ibn Hanbal. The narrator discussed this hadith for Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Now how, after listening to this chain, please listen, sanad means chain. Remember the chain, I have already read for you one by one. When this chain was recited and narrated to Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, how Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal reacted? He said, لَوْ قُرِيَ هَذَا عَلَى مَجْنُونٍ لَبُرْعَ مِنْ جُنُونٍ. Allahu Akbar. This chain is so barakat in this chain that if you will read just this chain of hadith over a person who is mentally completely out, he will become aqil and reasonable. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Once again, salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. This is Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. He's saying if you recite this chain, if you read these names, Ali ibn Musa, Musa ibn Ja'far, Ja'far ibn Muhammad, Muhammad Baqir, Ali Zaynul Abidin, Husayn ibn Ali, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Rasulullah. If you read this chain on a mad person, he will become okay. This is Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Allahu Akbar. Now you know why they don't accept his book. In Ahl Hadith circles, even those days, there were people who have a doubt about Ali ibn Abi Talib. About what doubt about? That he was fourth Khalif or not. Why? Because it became controversial. One side was Muawiyah. You already heard the story night before and night before. A lot of controversy was around. You right? So they were saying that no, maybe Sayyidina Muawiyah, the same Sayyidina, everybody is Sayyidina. Oppressor Sayyidina, oppressed Sayyidina, murderer Sayyidina, murdered Sayyidina. Allah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala. Culprit Sayyidina, victim Sayyidina. So they were confused. So they came, this is called, not as a first imam, don't confuse her, as a fourth khalif. They were saying, no, these three khalifs, right? No, two, we don't know about the fourth one. So they came to him, he said, the sentence he said, Man lam yasbutul imamata li'aliyun fahuwa azallun min himare ahle. Oh, he said what? He says, for someone, imamat of Ali ibn Ali Talib is not proven, he is worse than his own donkey. He is more stupid than his own donkey. This is the sentence of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Allahu Akbar. I can read for you. You will be surprised that not in one book, but in various books, it's amazing that it is narrated that Imam ibn Hanbal narrates, and those people who are direct students of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal and they are regarded as very pious and holy and reliable, they are saying that Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal narrates from who? From Imam Hussain Sayyid al-Shuhada, Hussain ibn Ali alayhi salam. But he narrates, listen, يقول من دمعت عيناه فينا دمعة أو قطرت عيناه فينا قطرة. But Hussain said, Ahmad ibn Hanbal is narrating, Allah, saying Imam Hussain said, someone who cries for us, Allah Akbar, someone who sheds one tear for us, Allah guarantees for him Jannah. Now ask our people, so much proud of Imam ibn Hanbal, what is this narration of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal? Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Another important thing about Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, very interesting. This Wahhabism and Salafism which started from 7th, 8th century onward has one very serious issue. They become very civilized, very peaceful, very compromising, very tolerant, very soft when it comes to Yazid. If you ask them question, cursing Yazid,
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Cursing Yazid, is it allowed or not? Oh, they got serious problem. No. Why? They got reasons. Maybe you heard this preacher, gospel preacher, but he preaches Islam, but he's basically gospel preacher, Dr. Zakir Naik. He got the greatest sympathy for Yazid. They say, what they say? They say, no, we cannot curse Yazid. So, okay, why? No. Because we don't curse anybody. We narrate from the Prophet ﷺ, Hadith Prophet said, I am not somebody who is abusive and cursing. Okay. So you don't curse anybody. So you don't think Yazid was a good person? No, he wasn't a good person, he was a bad person. Okay, some of them who are the extremists, because Salafis and Wahhabis also got plenty of variety and categories. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. I am talking about that middle class cars, when the medium ones, those are not very heavy ones, diluted ones a little bit. They say, no, we are very civilized people. We don't curse people. Okay, you are very civilized. You don't curse people, but you kill people. In killing, no problem. You give fatwa over fatwa to kill. But cursing, all of a sudden you say, no, we are very civilized people. We don't curse, we don't abuse. This is amazing. Why they have so much love and sympathy for Muawiyah and Yazid and his family? Allah knows best. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Of course there are other people like Hazari and them, they also said, I don't curse. This is supposed to be hero. Allahu Akbar. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal was approached. While we are discussing Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, you are understanding this approach, this Salafi approach, this phenomenon. He was approached. Can we curse Yazid? So he said, he didn't answer. He said, why you are asking this question, by the way? Means it's so clear. Why are you asking this question? He said, no, but we don't know. Can we curse or not? People say we cannot curse. And after that he was Muslim, you know. Imam ibn Hanbal responded by saying that, didn't you read Quran? He said, yes, we read. Quran says that curse of Allah on those people who cut themselves from their family. Now, cutting yourself, if you cut yourself from your family, if you cut yourself from your family, so what? Allah says curse on you, alright? And those people who cut and chopped family of Rasulullah, you are asking me that can we curse him or not? Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now again Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal is not criteria, because not convenient. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal has no sympathy for Yazid, so they can't come along with him. Another interesting incidental aspect of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal was asked this question, Wafayatul A'yan of Ibn Khalaqan, Tabaqatul Hanabila, and others have recorded. In fact, Ibn Kathir in Al-Bidayah, also a student, very strong, Hanbal. They asked from Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal that can we go for the ziyarat of the qabr of Nabi? He said yes. They asked, can we kiss qabr of Rasulullah? He said yes. Allahu Akbar, you can kiss qabr of Rasulullah. Amazing is that, isn't that? Whole fight of shirk and tawheed is around going for the ziyarat of qabr of Rasulullah. Kissing ziyarat, kissing qabr of Rasul. Leave kissing, they don't allow you even to stand there. They hate you physically, then they are not civilized. They will push you, don't stand here. Say Assalamu alaikum and go. But again, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. And another interesting thing, you want to know about Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Ibn Jawzi, very well known, has written a book about virtues of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Al-Manaqib. In his book, he says that qabr of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal in Baghdad, place of ziyarat for all the people. How interesting it is that those people who declare fatwa of kufr and shirk, and they call them qabr pujari and I don't know, quburi and this and that. Imam Ahmad, he narrates a hadith, he says that qabr Imam, Allah yazuru qabr Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal kullu sanatin, every year Allah comes to visit Qabr of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. He narrates that there are people who always used to go and make tabarruk and tawassul by Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal's Qabr in Baghdad. Sometimes they didn't go, they saw in dream that someone, Jibreel or some angel came and told them, why are you not visiting Qabr of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal? He is Imam of Sunnah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Those people who have demolished, and they believe that we must demolish the graves, we must not have shrines, we must not have karamat, and you saw what's happening in Cape Town now recently. They claim to be Hanbali, and their hero is Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. His own grave was visited. His own grave, they say, flood came and grave of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal was not touched. I don't want to now go to the street. Salawat ala Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Anyway, brothers, but I don't want to leave the discussion incomplete. My time already finished. Allahu Akbar. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal again, but at the same time, has that tendency of literalism, irrationality, and especially last part of life. Now a new ruler came, Mutawakkil. Mutawakkil came in power, and Mutawakkil was not Mu'tazilite, but Al-Hadith. All of a sudden, tables turned other way. And they came in power, and they did what they did. And then, of course, there's a plenty to talk. I don't want to now mention or go in those details. So, I'm not trying to say that everything is very nice, but this is what I'm trying to explain to you, one phenomenon which appeared and how these people have attached themselves. Then we will, of course, come to the Ibn Taymiyyah, inshallah, tomorrow, which is the most important discussion, where we will, inshallah, start replying and responding to the main issues. The issue of Tawheed, for example, because in Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal and other people, these things are very unorganized. Ibn Taymiyyah has putting together in form of a structure and a school and a madhab, and started and goes on. So then we have to, inshallah, respond one by one those issues of Tawheed, issue of Tawassul, issue of Ziyarat, issue of other issues, inshallah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya Ibn Rasulullah. My salam on you, O Syed al-Shahada. Let me take you to Karbala. Let me take you to Karbala, O Syed al-Shuhada, O Aba Abdullah. Last night I said that Imam Hussain has the best of companions. Remember what I said? Majority of 72. No one could get 72 pures, and really in every companion of Hussain, perfection is reflecting. They are not masoom, they are not infallible. But brothers and sisters, Allahu Akbar. Infallibility appears to be a small word for them. Amazing examples are in Karbala. Last night I spoke about Hurr ibn Yazid al-Riyahi. Tonight I would like to discuss few other companions. Time is running out. Habib ibn Mazahir is a friend of Hussain from very, very young age. In Karbala, he is an old man. How he could manage to reach from Kufa to Karbala, Allah knows best. But when Habib arrived in Karbala, Allahu Akbar, Hussain was very happy. And not only Hussain was very happy, But even sister of Hussein, Zainab, was also very happy. Imam Hussein gave right hand side of his army flag in hand of Habib, left hand side in the hand of Zuhair ibn Qayn, heart of the army in hand of his brother Abil Fazl al-Abbas. Habib was an old man, but amazing battle he presented on the plains of Karbala. And when he was martyred, Hussein's eyes were full of tears. And if you go to Karbala, may Allah grant you this ziyarah, inshallah. May Allah, all of you be in Karbala. If you go to Karbala, those who went to Karbala, they know. When we enter in the shrine of Imam Hussein, first we come to our Habib, then shrine of Imam Hussein. Means first we make ziyarat of Habib, then we make ziyarat of Hussein. Coming back again, we make ziyarat of Habib because he's on the doorsteps. Allah. This shows the status of Habib among the Shuhada of Karbala. One ziyarat of Hussein, two ziyarats of Habib. Someone saw in dream Habib ibn Mazahir. He asked from Habib, Habib, you are one of the most senior Shuhada of Karbala. You got everything. Do you wish anything else? He said, yes. He said, yes. He said, after getting this status, still you need something? Still you desire, you wish something? He said, yes. He said, what do you wish? He said, I got one desire. He said, well, I want to come to Majlis of Hussein, and where I want to sit, where you people leave your shoes. I want to come and sit. We got Zuhair ibn Qayn. Zuhair ibn Qayn was not in the camp of Ali, he was in a position. Imam met him, where Imam met him? On his way to Karbala. He was avoiding Imam. Please listen to a few sentences. He was avoiding Imam. But on one station, they came across to Imam. Imam sent a messenger to his tent, to his camp where they were based. Go and greet him and ask him that Hussein wants to see. History says, please listen carefully. When this messengers of Hussein arrived in the tent of Zuhair, he was busy eating. Food was in his hand, that bite was in his hand. Messenger entered the tent. He said, Zuhair, are you Zuhair? He said, yes, I am Zuhair. He said, nearby Prophet's son Hussein is camping. He requested you to come and meet him. Hussein asking Zuhair to come and see him. Zuhair knew what is happening. Zuhair was all the time avoiding. Now he does not know what to say. History says he was very double-minded. His hand is got food in his hand, bread or whatever, doesn't eat, but he just thinking how to answer. While he was doubtful, his wife who was with him, she was behind probably the curtain. She said, Habib, Zuhair, son of Rasulullah is calling you and you are double-minded, you are doubtful, go! Go! Zuhair left, came to Imam Hussein. Now that meeting was confidential. There was no third person, only Hussein and Zuhair. So we don't know what happened there. Nobody narrated. But what we know, that after this few minutes meeting, When Zuhair came out, was a different Zuhair. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. This is magic of Hussain. This Zuhair was a different Zuhair. This Zuhair was a Zuhair of Hussain. All of a sudden he said, you people go to Kufa. He called his wife, I owe someone so much money, give them this. My property is there, sort of. What happened, Zuhair? What happened, Zuhair? He said, no, I have decided to join Hussain. You go to Kufa. I don't want to continue, brothers and sisters. On this point, Zuhair's wife came in front. She said, Zuhair, remember one thing. I was the one who motivated you to go to Hussain. In day of Qiyamah, when you will go into Jannah with Hussain, you will not enter Jannah without me, O Hussain, O Zuhair. Zuhair promised. Zuhair promised. Allahu Akbar. This is companion of Hussain. You want to listen more? There is a black slave in Karbala. His name is John. He was slave of Abu Zar. Abu Zar gave it to Ahlul Bayt. He served his whole life in service of Ahlul Bayt. He was present in Karbala. Imam Hussain said to him, John, whole life you served us. We don't want you to die. We freed you. Go, go, no problem. We are happy with you. You go. It's enough what you have done for us. You know what this John said? Allah. Allah. This John turned back and said, what is it? He said, Hussain, Mawla, oh my master, when days were good and nice and fine and shiny, I was with you. And when these days are gloomy and dark, I should leave you. Curse on that life. I cannot leave you, Abu Abdullah. On the day of Ashura, Imam Hussain didn't give him permission. He came over and over. Imam refused, said, no, but you have served enough, John. When John could not achieve permission of Hussain, he came with a different strategy. He came to Hussain. He said, Abu Abdullah, I know why you don't want to give me permission. He said, what? He said, because my family tree is not a very big family tree. I'm coming from Africa, I'm black. My color of skin black. My body got a smell. I was a slave. You don't want my dirty blood to be mixed with your pure blood. History says, Maqatil wrote, Hussain could not take this sentence, grab John. John, how you can even think like that? Allah. John, go and fight. John went. He fought. Allahu Akbar. And while he was fighting and got injured, and he was so much weak, could not keep himself on horse. When was coming down from the horse, he shouted, Ya Abu Abdullah, come and rescue me. Believe me, brothers and sisters, for very few people, Hussain could manage to reach the people in the battlefield. One of those people Hussain could make up was John. Hussain could make up was John. When Hussain reached John, John was almost going, almost dying. Hussain placed his head on his lap. Then history says something amazing. This is the history sentence. Hussain did to only two people in Karbala this thing. One to his beloved son Ali Akbar, and other to his slave John. What he did? Allahu Akbar. Oh John, you are worried that your blood will not be mixed with our blood. Hussain placed his cheek on the cheek of John. Allahu Akbar. Hussain made a dua. Oh Allah, make his face Oh Allah, give to his body a perfume which will never go out. Allahu Akbar. When Hussein placed his cheek on the cheek of John, فَتَبَسَّمَ وَسَارَ إِلَى رَبِّهِ زَاهِدًا مُسْتَبْشِرًا. Oh, John fly to the heavens while smiling. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum ya Aba Abdullah. Kufa. Allahu Akbar. करबला, आशुरा, सब शहीद हो गए. ज़ुहैर शहीद, हबीब शहीद, जॉन शहीद, सारे असहाब अहले बैत शहीद हो गए. सबके लाशें जलती रेती पे पड़े हुए थे. ज़ुहैर का जिक्र हो रहा, बस 1 मिनट. अल्लाह अकबर. आपने ज़ुहैर के ज़ौजा का जिक्र सुन लिया. जब ज़ुहैर की बीवी को ये खबर मिली कि सारे शुहदा की लाशें करबला के मैदान में बेगोरो कफन पड़े हुए, एक निहायत कीमती कफन तैया किया. एक गुलाम को दिया, कहा ये कफन ले जाओ, जाकर अपने मौला और आका ज़ुहैर को कफन देना. गुलाम कूफे से चला, करबला के मैदान में आया, बड़ी मुश्किल से ज़ुहैर की लाश को तलाश किया. तलाश करने के बाद ज़ुहैर के लाशे पे आज़ादारी की, मातम किया, कफन को लेकर वापस आ गया. कफन को लेकर वापस आ गया. ज़ुहैर की बीवी ने पूछा, गुलाम क्या हुआ? मैंने तुम्हें कफन दे के भेजा था कि ज़ुहैर को कफन दे देना. कहा बीवी, जब मैं करबला के मैदान में पहुंचा तो मैंने देखा फातिमा के बच्चे बेकफन है, रसूलुल्लाह की औलाद बेकफन है. एक मर्तबा ज़ौजे ज़ुहैर ने ये पलट के कहा, शुक्रिया है गुलाम, शुक्रिया, मुझे फातिमा के सामने शर्मिंदा होने से बचा लिया. अला लानतुल्लाहि अलल कौमिज़ ज़ालिमीन. सयअलमुल लज़ीना ज़लमू अय्युल मुनक़लबिन